A massive day in Newcastle with breaking news around their coach and their captain. It started with the coach, Rudy, but now there's talk around Kalyn Ponga. What's going on?
Yeah, look, obviously there's been whispers around Kalyn Ponga for some time in rugby union. He's contracted with the Knights till the end of 2027. But an agent, a New Zealand-based agent, rugby union agent, has been shopping Kalyn around Europe. Now, I've been in contact with the Ponga camp today, and I didn't really get a straight answer out of them, but what I gleaned from their text messages is if he's being shopped around Europe, it's being done without them giving him the agent the green light. But that's what's happening at the moment with Kalyn Ponga. He's been shopped. His name's been mentioned by this Rebel Rugby competition that's going on at the moment. So he is on the radar of rugby union clubs, Braith.
Very interesting. Buzz, the coach, Adam O'Brien, what's the latest?
Well, I'll tell you what the latest is. Yesterday afternoon, about 2 o'clock, I got a text message from someone saying Adam O'Brien is gone at the Newcastle Knights and will happen this week. The story has now got out. They're now saying Adam O'Brien will be punted from the Knights at the end of the season. I've spoken to Peter Parr, I've spoken to Adam O'Brien. They do not know where the stories come from. He's made the finals for the last 5 years, Adam O'Brien. I think there's legs to the story. I think he's really struggling to hold on to that job. The problem these clubs have got right now is there's only a few quality coaches left. If they don't go for Hannay now, if they don't go for Willie Peters now, they're worried the Cowboys will beat the Titans. So everyone's getting nervous about when to strike and get the coach they want.
Does Kalyn Ponga have any clauses in his contract?
No, it's a straight contract. So I would say if he's being shopped to other sports, then that's in breach of his contract.
There's always been a question mark over Kalyn, his future at Newcastle, whether he's happy there, does he see success there, he wants to win premierships, he wants to play rugby union, and he's close to Adam O'Brien. So you'd think if Adam O'Brien won't be there next year, the future of him, Kalyn, at this club is in doubt, right?
Well, I think it's been in doubt for a while, Braith, regardless. I think the club will talk to Kalyn tomorrow about, now that their stories come out to get some clarity around what's actually happening and what Kalyn wants to do down the track with his future. Obviously, as I said, contracted for 2 years there, but these whispers just been going round and round. And then you hear that his name is on the radar of European rugby union clubs. His name's being talked about over there. That's a concern for the Knights.
Is there a chance, Buzz, I'll come to you, is there a chance that Newcastle could let him go, given the money he's on and the results they've had there over the past few years?
Well, the way he's playing, you make a really, really good point, because outside of the first 2 or 3 games, he's had a really ordinary season for the highest paid player in rugby league, and he sort of limped his way into that Origin team, didn't he, when Reece Walsh wasn't available and they didn't think of the hammer at fullback. What I find with this story, it so reminds me of Sonny Bill Williams all those years ago. He had a watertight contract at the Canterbury Bulldogs. He just took off. It was a court case. He lost the court case. He had to borrow money from Anthony Mundine to pay a significant amount of money to Canterbury to get out of that contract. If Kalyn has done this, whether the agent's acting with Kalyn's approval, we don't know, but he'd be in all sorts of legal trouble.
Yeah, well, I don't think Kalyn will go down that path. I think if he wanted to leave rugby league and go to rugby union, at the end of this season, he'll sit down with the Knights. And look, Braith,
so they'd be crazy to let him go.
Well, they've got Fletcher Sharp. He's on about 1.4, 1.3, $1.4 million. He's missed the past 2 seasons, large chunks of it with Liz Frank injuries. So they haven't. With due respect to Kalyn, it's injury related, but they haven't really got the value for money out of him. And as I said, they've got Fletcher Sharp coming through. They've got Dylan Brown going there next year. Maybe if Kalyn sat down with them and said, look, I want to go and try rugby and I want to play for the All Blacks, I'm not sure they would say no to him, Gordy. I think they would at least have a conversation with him.
Well, you think that the Knights would pay him more than what the All Blacks would be willing to pay. When Brad Thorne went across, it was for less money. You don't walk to the All Blacks and go over there on more money. To go to Europe,
he'd make more in Europe and Japan.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. As for your suggestion that the Knights wouldn't want to let him go, the last few years I've regarded Ponga in the top 3 players in the game, up there with, Cleary, etc. On form, we've seen this year, he's not the top 10. He's slipped quite substantially. And when you're paying the highest paid player in the league $1.5 million, it might be a wise salary cap move with, as you say, Fletcher Sharp around, to offload him.
Well, he's 27, so at the deal what he'll get off, he'll be 30 when he signs his new deal.
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, he's a hell of a footballer, and I'd hate to see him leave the code because he's been a star. He's one of the biggest stars in our game. You'd hate to see him go, but as I said, I think the Knights will now sit down with him. Now that we've broken their story, they'll sit down within the next 24 hours and they'll try to get some clarity around what Kalen wants.
It's a bit frustrating because Kalen is a superstar and has always had the potential to be the best player in our game, but just struggled to stay on the field for a long period of time and show us what he's got for long periods.
Yeah.
You know, and I think Newcastle have been hurt by that with results, right?
Yeah, the interesting thing is too, Peter O'Sullivan told me probably 12 weeks ago, I did a big interview with him about signing Dylan Brown and was a waste of money. He said his next target was Ponga. And 12 weeks ago he said, I'll see Andre and I'll see Ponga in, 3 or 4 weeks, and then I'll show them that we got, you know, what we got to offer.
What about Dylan Brown?
Yeah.
Like that situation.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was thinking when Buzz said that. Then I thought, imagine what Dylan Brown thinks right now, because he thinks he's going to Newcastle to play with Kalen Ponga, and that's a lure for him, I imagine. So to think that maybe he won't, if you're Dylan Brown, I mean, that's got to be a shock for you.
Kalen needs to come out and make a statement. He's got so many fans up in Newcastle.
Rudy, he's your man.
Well, I've reached out, brother. I've reached out to Kalen. Kalen got back to me today, but he just said...
Getting anything for us?
He just said, thanks for reaching out. I always appreciate it. But he didn't say whether there was
Did you show me that? Oh, did he say that?
No, Kalen
I want to see that.
And Andre...
That's a concession that something's happening.
Andre basically said, look, there's always noise around us and the Knights. You know, we're not going to add to the noise, so...
So he gave you some information then?
Some information, yeah.
Not a lot.
Not the answers.
Not exactly
not the answers I wanted, though, Brad.
It's not exactly
Doesn't sound like you dug all that hard.
No. I asked
You would have dug
questions.
deeper, wouldn't you, Buzz?
Oh, mate.
He wouldn't have responded to Buzz, though. That's the
Do you
problem.
want me to show him a phone?
All right, Buzz. You've been digging all day and you love to dig.